eBay has made a big change to its online auctions that is being widely celebrated by eBay sellers. It's designed to cut down on the number of unpaid auctions. But is it enough, or do more steps need to be taken to clean up some bad eBay behavior? We'll debate now. Hello, sports card investors, and welcome to another episode of Cards on the Table from the Arena Club studio here inside Cards HQ. Teapot Lecter, it's a good day today. It's a good week this week.
Yeah, it's a big week.
We had the release of Topps Chrome Football, and we got some big eBay news to talk about.
Yep.
That I think this is a positive thing. We, unfortunately on this show, we sometimes have to cover scams that take place or bad sellers or unscrupulous things. It's nice to see a marketplace taking some proactive steps to maybe make things better. Now, is it enough? What do they need to do next? We're going to get into that piece of it, but let's at least tell everybody what the news is. So it was on Monday of this week when eBay sent out an email to many of their sellers letting them know about a change that was taking place. And the change is that starting May 13th, so starting next month, buyers who are based in the United States who win an auction on eBay will no longer have a mechanism to cancel the auction or cancel the order, get out of the order,
right?
Like has been happening some and is a bit of a problem, especially in the sports card world with how this all works. And eBay specifically said, we're making the change because auctions on eBay work best when winning bidders follow through and pay. No kidding.
Booyah.
Like, yes.
Let's go.
Like, did that line even need to be said? I mean, I love eBay PR, but I mean, is that even necessary to say auctions work best when the buyer actually pays? Yeah, of course, right?
Everything does.
Okay, yes. You have told us, this is the eBay email, you have told us that canceled bids disrupt your sale, hurt the item's value, and create overhead. Yes, yes, and yes.
Yes.
Now, you know what else they do? They hurt the data people.
They do.
They hurt
everybody.
They're a problem for apps like Market Movers because we get sales data in from eBay, and then someone's trying to cancel the sales data. It screws us up. We're showing sales which sometimes got canceled, right?
Yes.
To better protect you, this is the eBay email again. To better protect you, we will be removing the option for buyers to cancel winning bids.
Yes. Yes.
Huge.
Yes.
I like that, Teapot.
You like that?
I saw
like
this
that,
news and
Teapot.
I did a little cartwheel.
Let's go, eBay. Let's go. Now you can
go.
still message the seller if you're a buyer and you have some super extenuating circumstance. You can still message the seller to request a cancellation, but the seller now has the right to tell you no. And if you then leave the seller negative feedback, eBay will remove the negative feedback, which was always something that sellers complained about before. And of course, this is one of a sequence of changes eBay has now done to try to protect the integrity of their auctions. It wasn't long ago that they opened up tools to allow sellers to require the auto charging of credit cards for certain items. And between that and this, it seems like this collectively may really help cut down on the amount of shill bidding and the amount of unpaid items through the eBay platform. It's also worth noting that this change to auction cancellations is not just sports card or trading card specific. It's actually across their entire platform. So if you're trying to bid on a microwave or a TV or I don't know, what do you bid on like a blender? You buy blenders on eBay?
I've been known to buy blenders.
You buy blenders. I feel like you're a blender guy. Well, next time you buy a blender, you got to pay. You can't cancel it now on eBay.
And I always will and always have.
Good. Well, I appreciate it. You're a man of integrity.
Blend-Tac, Vitamix. I'm a connoisseur of blenders.
That's
you like used blenders?
Those are expensive blenders.
I don't know about a pre-owned blender.
Teabay. I almost called you T-Bay.
Hey, I might go by T-Bay after this news. I will embrace T-Bay after this news.
This show is off the rails. Teapot, what do you think about this eBay change? Is this the best change eBay's made in a long time? Or is it not enough and more needs to be done? What do you think?
Look, I wish this had happened 5 years ago? Yeah, but I'm not going to like dwell on that. I am really ecstatic about this news. I think this is a really big deal. It's not going to solve all problems. It's a step in the right direction, coupled especially with the piece that you said about auto charging cards. So between these two things, they're forcing buyer integrity. They're forcing the issue, and I think it's really, really a big deal. If you bid on a card and you win it, you just need to pay.
Yes.
No excuses, not, my kid had the phone and bid without me knowing, not my favorite cat hacked up a fur ball and hit the bid button. None of this crap that we see in the excuses. Just pay for your auction. It's not rocket science. So there are some settings, and I think we can put it up on the screen. I have a screenshot. But if you are a seller on eBay, there's a few things you're going to want to enable, in my opinion. Do your own research and decide what you want to enable. But there are some settings that you can go to within the eBay website. This is on the web version. You go to Seller Site Preferences under the Shortcuts box, go to Your Buyers, and then Manage Who Can Buy From You. And in my opinion, check all of the settings under the Buyer Management Block settings. So there's something in there like block buyers who caused 2 cancellations on an unpaid order within the last month. That one just might go away if this is a thing. Block buyers whose primary shipping address is in a location you don't ship to. That seems obvious. And then block buyers who are currently winning or have bought one item in the last 10 days. Only apply this limit to buyers with a feedback score up to, and then you can choose 0 to 5. So in other words, if somebody has lower than a 5 feedback score, they simply can't bid on your items. And I think that should be checked. One thing I would really like to see, DC Sports 87 as an example, has kind of been at the forefront of being anti-shill bidding and protecting consigners who send their cards to them. I would like to see all eBay consignment companies checking these boxes, publishing it and saying, we are cracking down on this. People can go create eBay accounts and then just bid on items. This is how you help curtail and stop that. Now, I want to go on a little bit of a side quest, Jeff, on the other side of this, which I think is really important. And sellers, do not cancel orders where somebody rightfully won an auction or rightfully accepted an offer from you.
Right.
My good friend Filmington from Spitballing Cards recently bought a Jordan Walker who's been red hot. Dynasty Logo Man. Dynasty 1/1 Logo Man on eBay.
That's a huge card.
He was watching it and received an offer from the seller for $7,500, and he accepted it and paid for it immediately. And then a day went by, and the seller doesn't ship the card. There's no update of the shipping status, nothing. And then suddenly, Filmington receives a message saying, hey, sorry, I have to cancel this. I actually sold this elsewhere, and I wasn't able to cancel it in time when you bought it.
Wait, he sent out the offer.
He sent the offer.
Oh,
and listen,
bad
Jeff,
seller.
Phil,
Bad seller.
The seller. I'm gonna do this.
Yes.
The seller is on eBay. IG Veritas Sports Cards, also on IG. Clever putting your IG name as your eBay username. eBay shouldn't really allow that
eBay
either.
Shouldn't allow that.
And canceled it and made him waited 3 days with Phil's funds tied up, by the way. And then you have to wait for the refund to issue. And apologizes, and he said he didn't cancel it. Well, Filmington, who's well connected in the high-end baseball card market, has since found out that there was some funny business going on, and that he, in fact, did sell the card 3 days after Filmington paid for the card. So I would say this.
Come on, get this guy off the platform. Get this
bidding,
guy off the platform. Out.
Seriously,
out.
Yeah, and I think there's something to look at there. I love the step they're taking for sellers to protect them. Let's take the other side and have seller strikes.
Yes.
If you sell, and it's against their terms. By the way, it's against their terms to negotiate off platform if you've got cards listed and sold. So as a hobby, when things like shill bidding happen, people get very, I think, rightfully vocal. They come after them like it's a witch hunt. We're going to kick you out of the hobby if you shill bid. Let's take the same approach. If you agree to sell a card, sell the dang card. And if you agree to buy a card, buy the dang card. No more of these games, and everybody in the hobby will be better for it. I'm off my soapbox.
T-Bay.
T-Bay
out.
Let's go,
I like
T-Bay.
T-Bay. Lechner, what do you have to say on this one?
Yeah, it's a huge net positive in my opinion. And I think for all the scrutiny that eBay's received throughout the years, they have been really proactive in trying to put these policies in place. So I see this as a big win. Kind of piggybacking on what Teapot said, I would like to see some measures in place that if a seller runs an auction and it doesn't sell for as high as they want to, that they can't just cancel the sale on their end as well. So, but overall, I think this is a big net positive. I'm excited that they're making these this change in particular. And again, I give them a lot of credit because again, we like to criticize, but in reality, it's a great platform that we all use probably daily or weekly, and they're very proactive in trying to improve the platform and make it better for everyone. And for that, I appreciate that.
I agree. I think back to 3 or 4 years ago, and where eBay is today, they have definitely made a series of steps to make the platform better and more friendly, particularly with card collectors. Some of these changes go platform-wide, but they've also made changes that are specific within the trading card space on their platform. My only criticism of eBay is sometimes they're a little slow to react. Like, did it need to take until 2026 to allow people to cancel auctions? But you know what? Hey, I'm not going to complain about that because I am happy that eBay has made this change. I do think it is a positive for the hobby. I do think that the amount of tomfoolery that has taken place over the years on eBay's platform is being reduced, and every time they institute a change like this, it's getting safer, it's getting better, it's getting better for the card community as a whole. This is another step in the right direction, so I will give kudos to eBay on this one for sure. Absolutely. And I think it's a good thing. I think it's a positive thing. So there you go. A little bit of good news to start the show, ladies and gentlemen. We got to talk about some news that people may not feel is as good. Prices of Topps Chrome football and other topics related to that in just a minute. But let's build on the good momentum we have here. Let's rip a couple of Arena Club slab packs and pull something nice. Lechner, what did you do here today?
Yeah, baseball.
Baseball. Come on. All right. Well, baseball's underway. What do we get? This is the Emerald. Oh, yes. Look at you.
Yes.
I guess that is a baseball card.
Yes, on the GPK.
That is one of the
favorite.
This is
short printed inserts
from Bowman Chrome.
Yeah, the Mega Box variation. Orange too to 25. I love it.
That is really
a little Evil Knievel action there.
That's really nice, actually.
That's cool.
I love the Garbage Pail Kids inserts.
Very
That's
cool.
super cool. Teapot, what did you rip?
I went with football, soccer.
Football.
Soccer.
Interesting.
World Cup's coming, baby.
Soccer.
Let's go. Oh, kaboom, in a 10.
Oh, that's nice.
Number 10 in a 10.
Very
of my favorite guys, one of my favorite Belgian footballers of all time, Lukaku.
There you go.
So sick.
Good for you.
I love that.
By the way, these are Emerald packs. Emerald packs from Arena Club. Emerald Arena Club slab packs. What do we get here?
Okay, Mr. Patty.
That's your boy. That's a rookie.
Rookie.
We've been on a Patty heater lately.
Look at that.
I got Mahomes last time we did that.
2017 Origins rookie jumbo jerseys. Patrick Mahomes rookie, and it is numbered as well.
Let's go.
Hey, any numbered Patrick Mahomes rookie, that's a good card.
Good grade on
that is a good
thicker
card.
stock card too.
Yeah, 9 actually is a pretty good grade on that card. Nice. All right, there you guys go. These were all Arena Club slab packs, and I got actually a very, very special announcement to share with you about Arena Club as well. The Sports Card Investor Arena Club slab packs just dropped. We do these every few months where we curate the cards that are going to go inside these slab packs. Teapot, we picked some really good ones this month. So
super cool.
There's an $800 slab pack. That's the high-end one, the $800 Sports Card Investor slab pack. It's got a 2017 flawless Patrick Mahomes rookie auto. You picked that one out on the BGS 9.5. A 1933 Babe Ruth Gaudy, and a 2015 Excalibur Kobe Bryant Kaboom. I picked that one out.
I like it.
And then there's the $300 SCI slab pack.
Yep.
You picked out a Kobe Bryant 2008 Topps Chrome Refractor PSA 10 for that. Beautiful card.
With the LeBron.
Love that card. Highly love that card. We also got the LeBron 2008 Topps Chrome Orange Refractor in a BGS 9.5, and then I picked out the 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan in a PSA 6. Nice. Those three are in that one. Here's the best part. Go to Arena Club's website or download the Arena Club app and then use promo code SCI. You're going to get 20% off your first slab pack purchase. So you can buy any of those SCI slab packs or any of the other slab packs on Arena Club's website at 20% off your first purchase with promo code SCI. All right, let's move on and talk about what's going on with Topps Chrome football. And I want to make this a little bit of a bigger conversation about retail boxes in general.
Yeah.
Then we're going to talk about prices of boxes after this one. But let's start with this. So many people excited about Topps Chrome football. Came out yesterday. It's been super popular. Been selling out at Cards HQ, people buying in our breaks, all this kind of stuff. It's a really loaded product with all kinds of super hits and inserts and parallels and short prints and a lot of really good content. The premier patches, they put that all into this product. But there were some that were disappointed to find out that a couple of those super short print inserts, case hit style inserts that people were really excited about chasing, specifically the Tecmo ones. People, that's gotten a lot of buzz. And the brand new Kaiju, which is like a cool new one that they came out. Those are only going into the hobby boxes, jumbo boxes, and Breakers Delight boxes. Not in retail. Not in retail. So you got to go up to a pretty expensive level if you're going to chase those cards. Now, there's still plenty of other short print, very, very sought after inserts like ultraviolets and all kinds of other good ones that are available in the retail formats as well, but they saved those ones back. I'm curious, Lechner, is this fair play by Topps, or does this feel foul to you?
Yeah, I mean, we all love the story, right, of a dad and his son. They go to the store together, they pick up a blaster box by the checkout and go home, rip it together, and they get a huge hit, right? I love hearing those stories, seeing those on social media. Those are all really cool. I mean, like you said, you could still get the Helix, I think the Ultraviolet, the Fanaticals out of those, which are all really, really big chase cards that are going to be really exciting to hit. Autos as well, I think you can find in there. I think what I would like to see is maybe not a completely holding them back from retail, but just putting a lot fewer in retail. But there's still, maybe there's still a chance to get something like that in there. I'm not completely opposed to hobby exclusive case hits and short prints and things like that. But if have a shot in there in retail, I think would be nice, because even if you can afford a hobby box, they're still really hard to find. I mean, there's a lot of shops that are consistently sold out of hobby. So retail, it is retail boxes. Those sell out too. Those aren't always easy to find either. But being able to have a shot in there, I think would be nice. Again, there are still a lot of short prints and things like that. I do think there's probably a little bit of this as well. Like, we got to remember, these are chases. Like, and there's probably people want to buy a $50 to $100 box and hit a $5,000 car. Like, that's not going to happen all the time, right? They're a chase for a reason. Yeah. So there's that element of it as well. But yeah, maybe having them in there, but just at a much smaller level.
Little sprinkle.
Yeah.
Do you agree with this, Teapot, or how would you approach this?
There's a lot of different ways you can go about this. I'm sure there's kind of a science to distribution of cards and checklist composition, other things. It's something I would love to actually learn more about from Topps, just how they approach that in general, because we see the approach change a lot of times from product to product. And we've seen Panini do different things as well, and I'm sure Upper Deck does too. And this goes all the way back to the 90s when parallels and inserts first came into the game. The manufacturers had retail exclusive chases, inserts and parallels, and then hobby. Or they had it, like Lechner's saying, where you would have, in hobby it would be one of the basic parallels, one gold medallion per pack, but in retail it's one every 3 packs. They distribute it a little bit more. And I think you could go either way. Personally, and I'm coming at this from my own lens, and somebody who, frankly, we'll talk about it in a minute, is really priced out of the hobby and stuff, I would still actually like to have specific chases in the different box formats, in the different SKUs. So in a value box, I would like to have maybe ultraviolets are value box exclusive. Maybe Fanaticals are mega box exclusive, and you distribute them across, because a lot of people come in here too, and I've done this for videos, where you look at it and you're like, well, I don't know, should I buy 3 value boxes or 1 mega box? Or should I buy 5 mega boxes or 1 hobby box? If you start to actually create even a little bit more of an identity beyond just the pack odds, to say, if this is the card you're after that you are really excited about chasing, this is the type of box you want to go after. And then I think this also makes sure they're just not getting watered down. Like, they are a big chase, and make them stay that way. However many of these get printed is going to be the ultimate impact to the card if and when you hit it in its value. Yeah. So if they're making it in every box format, if they're super common like downtowns have been over the last few years, or like the retail, horizontal kabooms were and other things, they're not going to be worth as much if you hit it. So it's just kind of a pick your thing. Overall, this doesn't really bother me. There's tons of stuff still to chase in it.
Yeah, there's
tons
a lot
of parallels. There's autos. There's all the other inserts. So I actually like the idea of the different boxes having their own distinct identity to go after.
I can get into that. I will say, in my opinion, historically, Topps has been a lot better than Panini was in terms of actually putting some of the big chase cards in retail product.
True, yes.
There were years where you had absolutely no chance of opening up a certain format of Panini product and getting any of the big cards. None of them, 0 of them, the golds to 10s, the 1 of 1. Sometimes numbered cards in general did not go into any Panini retail product. The best you could do would be like a Prism Silver if you were opening up Prism retail.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a few years ago,
Yeah.
like with basketball, it used to be that way.
Yeah.
You couldn't get anything other than you were hoping for a Prism Silver, or the greens were the retail exclusive ones, or the red, white, and blues, depending on the format.
They had like one
But that's
parallel
it.
numbered to 25 or something, and that was all you could get.
Yeah.
And you're not going to hit it.
Right,
was
and
crazy.
it was so rare to get anything. So I do think Topps has actually been a lot better for the retail product consumer. They do put one-on-ones, and you hear the stories all the time of the person pulling the superfractor from a retail box, from a hanger, from a blaster. So they do actually put some of that stuff. They even, I know with like, I know they've even, I don't know what they've done with this new Topps Chrome football, but I know back to Topps Chrome Update Baseball last year, some of the debut patches, some of the MLB debut patches, they put into all of the retail formats. So you could actually open up a blaster or a hanger and get a debut patch. Maybe they've done that with the new Topps Chrome football, I'm not sure, but I hope they have. I think the distribution is good. I don't necessarily have a problem with a couple things being held back for like certain levels, but I kind of like your idea, Teapot. Like, make something special about every level of the box. But the bigger chases, I'm glad that they at least give people a chance. at
Panini
every
moved
level.
blank slates and Court Kings like to the blasters.
Yeah.
And then, that was a chase. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's ways you can do it.
There's ways you can do
just
it.
make sure there's value in it is the big thing.
Now, you mentioned you're interested in that in part because where box prices have gotten. And yeah, this new Topps Chrome football, like, to a degree, like Topps and the hobby in general right now are victim of their own popularity and their own marketing. Because, Topps originally dropped a very limited supply, but nonetheless, they dropped some boxes of Topps Chrome football on their website pre-release for $349 for hobby and $649 for jumbo. Well, the current street price is about 3x that. We've gone about 3x. You're upwards now of around $1,200 for hobby. That's pretty consistent with what we're seeing here and in eBay and various card stores around the world. And you're now approaching $2,000 for jumbo. $1,200 for hobby, $2,000 for jumbo. I mean, it's the prices are on up there. Look, I love this product. I've ripped now a few boxes of it. I think Topps did an excellent job with 2025 Topps Chrome football. I just wish it were a little more affordable. I wish the market hadn't gone as crazy with it, because I would like to rip more. I want to open up a few boxes. I want to bring my kids in and get a hobby box with them. Whoo! But that's a lot now. So now you're kind of forced. A lot of families, they're kind of forced a little more into the retail formats, right? And I'm glad that there are a lot of retail formats, but even those are getting expensive. Teapot, can anything be done about this? We talked about prices on the show a lot, right?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel priced out, and I think what's tricky is the ultra high-end market is the prices are so premium. There's competition. There's deep-pocketed people who are viewing this simultaneously as a collectibles market and an alternative investment market. And we talk about that all the time. That's not a new concept. It's not new to us or anything. But the challenge is when you have the biggest chase cards in a product like this being every bit of six figures, that just drives the value of the product up itself. Because if you hit one of those, that's life-changing money, or that's just a big, big payday. And so I think what's challenging is like there's a distribution curve that doesn't really, it's not like it's linear or slowly climbing up on your odds of hitting big cards. I think you could open a hobby box and you might get $150 worth of cards or less, or you might get a card that's 5 or 6 or 10K or more.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like boom or bust. That makes it really difficult. If you knew you could open one of these boxes and consistently, reliably get $400 to $500 or $600 of value out of it with the singles that you get, and then make a decision which ones you'd like to keep or sell, that would make it a little more palatable. But it's like a real big risk and boom or bust. I think that makes something like breaking a lot more appealing because it's distributed across. You can chase the team you want or the player you want. You get into a case as opposed to a single box, those types of things. And the value proposition tends to come out a little bit better. I think that's why it's so popular. But it's really difficult. The thing I would say to anybody who's frustrated with it is there's still the secondary market for a lot of the cards that you want to collect. If you're a team collector, a player collector, or anything like that, go pick them up. That's what's out there. That's mostly how I participate in the hobbies these days. I do occasionally get into a box when it's a little bit more of a manageable price, and if I see any of the chrome value boxes in the wild or something, I'll certainly go after those and rip 2 or 3 of them. But I tried for the EQL. I didn't get it. If I had, maybe I would have opened one and sold some of the others. It's a great product. I understand why there's euphoria around it for a million different reasons. Tough to swallow, tough pill to swallow when you see the price tag.
Yeah. What do you think, Lechner? Are you selling your car to go all in on jumbos and hobbies right now?
It's when you look at what the original MSRP was,
Yeah.
like it's kind of, there's a lot of sticker shock. And I
Sure.
think when you
and by the way, I thought that was reasonable. Like
Yes, very
$349
much
for
so.
hobby, $649.
That
That's
was.
great.
Very much so.
Let's do that all day long.
Yeah.
Very much so. I think tops collectors that are used to baseball hobby boxes being around what that original number
Yeah.
was are going to be the most shocked.
Yeah.
I think if you take a step back, though, and you look at the landscape over the last couple of years of football wax, it's kind of in line with what flagship football hobby boxes have. I mean, if you look at 25 Prism, it's $1,200 for a box. If you look at, I looked at 24 Prism last night, $2,400 for a box.
Oh my gosh,
of
isn't
24
that high?
Prism. Yeah,
Oh
so
my
it's like,
gosh.
it's not comparative to or relative to some other
Yeah.
flagship football wax. Football wax is it's
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah.
And the market is there. It supports it. It's a lot. I'm probably not going to be buying a box. It is a lot, but I think there's also a lot of people. I know personally, I have had conversations with people that were upset that they didn't get stuff in EQL or weren't able to get a sealed box. And I know for a fact that those people wanted to turn around and sell it for $1,200.
Yeah.
So one thing that I loved, I saw a hobby shop do, was if you bought a box and you ripped it in store, it was one price.
Yeah.
If you took it
Yeah.
out of the store sealed, it was another
Yeah.
price.
Yeah.
I think that's a great
I
idea.
actually think that's a good idea.
I think that's a really cool idea.
I'm going to talk to Carter. We talk to you, Teapot. Talk to our leadership team here, and maybe we can try that with a future release. I
Right.
did see that. I saw a couple of
'Cause
shops
yeah,
did that, and good for them. And I have no problem. Like I saw Burbank Sports Cards did that. Good for them. And there was I think at least one other one I saw. Oh,
Yeah.
Card Vault by Tom Brady was offering. I don't think they were. You have to rip in store. It was a limited quantity, but they were offering some,
Yeah.
some special pricing for certain retail products.
I think that's a great idea
I
because
like it.
then the
I
people
like
that
it.
want to rip, they can rip, but it also prevents those that want to buy a box for, X amount of dollars and make a $600 profit on it. You kind of have to limit that to an extent.
I think that's
too.
a good
So,
idea. I think we should do that, in the future with certain releases here at Cards HQ. I like the idea. So that's something we'll definitely take under advisement and see what we can do. It would be nice to offer some product at, more affordable prices. And I think from top standpoint, just continuing to make as much retail product as widely available as possible
Sure.
at reasonable prices, but not watering down the product. That's a tough combo, but if they can pull that combo off, that will help with all of this as well.
Yep.
But it's the market's a little frothy right now. A little frothy. All right.
Yeah.
I want to end with one final story, guys. We actually just had a price record for a tag graded card. So we're on here all the time talking about PSA and Beckett and CGC. Well, how about tag? Now it was a Pokemon card. It was a Pikachu Illustrator. It sold for $488,000 on Golden this past weekend. That is the highest ever for a tag graded card by more than 4x. So a big jump. This seems significant for tag as the company continues to grow. Now tag, if you look at the pop reports, if you look at the gem rate, reports on what's being graded, tag at this point has mainly veered over towards Pokemon and TCG. That seems to be their main focal area. But maybe this is a sign they're gaining a little bit of prominence and momentum over there, and maybe we've got another grading company that might kind of work their way up into the big four. I don't know, Teapot, did this catch your eye, or do you think this is just this won't affect the sports card scene at all?
The tag enthusiasts are very vocal, very, very vocal. They like the mission. They like the perceived objectivity. They're passionate. It's a clean-looking slab, and I think what they're trying to do is valuable. And we've talked about. I'd like to see all the companies continue to look at how they can leverage technology and human expertise together to create a great grading experience. We saw recently that Benjamin BE13 on Instagram has been flexing and posting all of his green kabooms.
Green kabooms.
And sending them, even crossing them
I know.
over, even cracking them out of, I think, PSA 10 slabs and
I
sending
know.
them to Tag. He wants your Tim Tebow, right?
I don't know that I can let Tim
Yeah.
Tebow go to a Tag slab.
Yep, but he's also
Tim Tebow likes his PSA slab,
he's got a Tag 10 Charizard base set holo from first edition that he bought, that he has on his screen showing $700,000 for that sale.
And did he have all the
so
Tom Brady green kabooms as well? Is he the one? Is he the one? Because that I think that might be him, because those have all been moved over to Tag slabs as well.
Yeah. So this was a private sale, by the way. So this was reported on Get Collector, and it was a private sale saying that one was privately $700,000 for the Charizard. So this was the biggest public sale that we've seen. $488,000. We know the importance of the Pikachu illustrator to that community. It's a big sale. It gives this type of stuff definitely gives credibility, and when you get big high-end collectors behind your brand and supporting it and promoting it and putting their money and their wallet into it, yeah, I think that adds a lot of credibility to Tag and what they're trying to do.
All right, Lechner, you got a really nice card. You got a beautiful Michael Harris.
I do.
It's a platinum. It's a Bowman Platinum 1/1 Superfractor.
Yeah.
Are you gonna cross that over to Tag on the back of this news? Are you gonna run on and send that thing off to Tag?
I really like the look of their slabs. I think it's a really clean look, and I think cards look good in it. I think it pops. I haven't done any submissions with them up to this point, but I do really like the look of their slabs, and I think that there's obviously a tremendous amount of value in having a high-end sale like this. Again, credibility, and kind of gets people to notice. I think that's valuable for everybody. I think when there are multiple grading companies that you can grade with and get big value from, in my opinion, that's a net positive for everyone, because competition breeds success.
Yes.
So it's going to want all of the grading companies to do the best that they can, to have integrity behind their grading, and that's a big piece, is integrity. Because if you're just chasing high-end, the one thing I don't want to see is grading companies just chasing high-end sales, and then this one's, we're going to give it a 10 because we're chasing that. Grading with it was an 8. Yep. So grading with integrity is super important. But yeah, I think that there's enough grading to be done for multiple companies to be successful, and I think for collectors to get behind it, they need to see the value in that. So in my opinion, I think it's a great thing for Tag. It's a good thing for the hobby when there's multiple grading companies that you're going to get value out of.
He didn't answer your question, did he? Yes or no, Lechner?
Yeah.
What are you doing with
is the Michael Harris Jr. going to Tag?
I'm probably going to be a little nervous to take some pliers to that slab, so it's probably just going to stay put for now. I'm happy with it.
The Michael Harris Jr. and my Tim Tebow will stay in their PSA slabs for the moment. There you go. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget those brand new Sports Card Investor Arena Club slab packs, which just dropped. And you can get 20% off in the Arena Club app by using promo code SCI if you're a first-time customer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon with our next one. Take care.